The Truth Sunday podcast back on. Yes, I'm going to break down a whole variety of things today, man. I'm going to show you what they got for the masses, the pressure that's on the people right now. And they're on the verge of breaking, and the people already have the order in place to basically put the masses in a destruction mode. We go get into this and break it down. Start out with the so-called CDC report on high school student mental health, and look what they say, 42% for your number 6. We go get into it and break it down, see what's going on, why the kids supposedly gone mental health. We go get into this and break it down. Just run it.
We have been covering mental health challenges that teens face, and we're just seeing how many teens are affected by this crisis.
Yeah, according to a startling CDC report, 42% of high schoolers have said that they feel persistently sad or
but how did CDC know what they said? How did CDC know that 42% of students said? Is that real? You need to listen to what they're saying, people. They're full of shit. Once they mention CDC, you know it's a government operation right here on the masses. So the students told CDC that? Wow, unbelievable.
Startling CDC report, 42% of high schoolers have said that they feel persistently sad or hopeless. Our Morning News Now anchor Savannah Sellers is covering this issue in a new NBC News Now special called Teens Under Pressure, Mental Health and Social Media. That is airing tonight.
People, mental health and social media. So of course they're going to reveal it, that it is the social media play a big role in that mental health in the masses. Okay, let's listen. In mostly basically teenagers and younger kids that been using those social media networks. Pay attention here.
And Morning News Now anchor Savannah Sellers joins us now on set. You guys are the Morning News Now anchors right now. It is good to have you back and on such an important topic. What did you find in your reporting?
Yeah, it's so good to see you guys. Thank you so much, and so good to see you all at home. So there is so much going on with teens right now. Honestly, I think it's just harder to grow up now. If you think about social media, it's just this...
It's harder to grow up now, people, and they mention the social media. Like I say, the TikTok that got the younger kids nowadays. That's the thing that's really hurting them. You understand? All dumb challenges and all them things basically set them off. That's what it is, along with the so-called pandemic and the pressure that they put on the people. Of course, mental health go be a problem.
Instant access to information. A lot of it's hurtful. It's body image issues. It's your friends hanging out without you. I heard FOMO a lot in reporting this as an issue that teens really say does impact their mental health. And then, of course, there are just the normal stresses that we all know about. The pandemic, climate change, and a big thing.
Wow, they mentioned climate change, people. Climate change make mental health on kids? You don't get it, people. So you mean that you pressure the kids or the younger ones with the supposedly climate change bullshit that you put on, and you tell me now that it's driving them crazy? Because the climate change is a hoax. It's a 100% government hoax they put on. Now they tell you that it's actually pressuring the youths. Pay attention.
A lot of these teens, they told me they actually think about every day is the possibility of a school shooting. They go to school worried.
And that's another bullshit again. Like I tell you, the school shooting is fake. 100% government operation. And of course, it can also scare the damn kids that got to go to school every day. You find a way to get them shaky and panicking. They don't want to go to school, and then you come back and tell the people about the education rate falling and kids not learning anymore after you put them in the home and tell them that's where they're going to learn from, and then you come back and say, hey, we go have to take over these schools because they're not doing too good. I tell you, it's all government operation. The whole thing is a train reaction for destruction.
And they have a really hard time with it. All of that sort of is culminating in that number that you said, 42% of teens saying that they feel persistently hopeless. Here's what's kind of really scary, though. Girls are faring much worse. 57% of girls say that. Same number there, persistent feelings of sadness, of hopelessness. And then the really concerning thing there is that sexual violence is spiking. So young girls...
Sexual violence is spiking. It's bullshit, people. Like I say, more pressure gonna be on the young girls. Just understand that. The reason is because they put more things on them to, this wanna be whatever, and you can be anything you want. You can be a man if you want, and you can do what men do, and all of these pressure. That's what it is, people. So of course it's harder for a little girl to grow up in this world now with all this confusion that the establishment put on them, with all the pressure. That's what it is, people. It's by design, 100%. And now the mass is feeling the pressure.
Are also dealing with that. They're dealing with this sort of misogynistic content that's online that they say impacts the boys that they interact with all the time. It's just a confluence of a lot of really concerning factors.
There's so many things and things that, like, as a kid, I certainly didn't have to deal with it all because there was a lot of parts of my life where I could disconnect, right? No idea what my friends were doing, and that was probably for the best.
No question.
What is it?
So the problem is social media. That's what they tell you, and they're the one who created to do just that. Don't let them fool you. All of them know about it. It's a worldwide trick to dumb down the youth with those social media, especially TikTok.
Teens are telling you, especially when it comes to what might be a solution or some possible ways to improve things.
Yeah, really important question. Of course, when we should be talking about, we're talking about what's wrong. One of the biggest things is what we all know, talking about it. They want to feel connected to people. The other really important thing is they want a trusted adult in their life. So if you're in
The trusted adult that you're talking about is dumb as a rock or is coming with the programming for your brain. That's just how it is, people. Them people is not smart enough to correct those so-called problems that the kids having. They can't. They're dumber than the damn youths when you look at it.
listening to this, if you know a teen, please try to connect with them and listen to what they said just about what can be done in their schools.
I feel like if there were more school counselors, they'd be able to focus on like a group of students
No,
rather
it's
than
bullshit.
like having
You don't need no school counselor. Most of them brainwash and gonna do nothing but fill your brain up with shit. That's all it is, people. The counselor ain't gonna make nothing better. Just remember that
students
shit.
to look after. And then same thing with the social workers in schools.
You certainly have the
Social
homework
worker.
teachers. And when we don't have that opportunity to build that bond, then that chance to see that, oh, that student hasn't been really acting their normal self, their usual self, there's not really that opportunity to just notice a child, I want to say, because there's just so much noise around.
Wow. So that's the reason why the mental health is an issue amongst youths now, right? All of that shit that you just mentioned is the problem, right? They will never point the finger on the real problem, people. Pay attention.
The really encouraging thing that I did hear in that conversation is that for a couple of the students that do have a strong relationship with their school counselor, they said that it has made all the difference in
There
the
you
world.
go.
There's this program that
There
is
go your
being
solution.
unveiled right now. Money is going directly into schools from the Department of Education, from the Biden administration, that is going to put resources actually physically within the walls of
Wow.
schools, so it's not something that has to be
Wow.
sought out after school.
I already told you. Just in case you're not too smart, they're not gonna solve no problem. First of all, they mention the social media and all of them things, and they never even put an eye to that. They mention it, but you understand what I'm saying? They're not really gonna, the problem they need to target is the social media. What they're really giving the youths that's storing up their brain. So you mention the social media, but you don't point it out. Like, okay, we need to do something about this. They never mention it. Now, they're talking about Biden is looking into banning TikTok in America. Period. That's what they said. They're talking about they ban them from Congress and, all these politicians from using it and have it in their phone and all of that. And then they tell you that the government actually gonna so-called ban it from Americans. You believe it, people? Is the world government own the TikTok, not China. And the so-called data that they're collecting on you right here in America is collected by the American, not the Chinese. So don't let them fool you. This is a worldwide trick right here. And I told you, it's doing a number on the youths right now. Bam. Take a look at this right here, people. This is what you get from the social medias nowadays. This is why the youth's gone crazy. This is why they're dumbed down all the way down to the
Even
ground.
on
Pay
St.
attention.
Patrick's Day, colleges.
First of all, the St. Patrick's Day is another bullshit. And once you hear the saint on it, you understand what it is, people. You need to understand another bullshit they sell in the masses. And it's Satan run this world. That's why you're getting saint on those holidays. You understand? What is that about? Part of the Catholic Church again. Yes, running the masses' life with these fake holidays. Now pay attention right here, people. Watch this.
Out alerts about the latest TikTok trend to make a
TikTok
splash
trend.
on campuses. The wave of
To
excess
make a splash on campuses. What a dumb shit, people. Watch this.
drinking concerning officials. Blackout rage gallons or
Listen.
Borgs are a punch-like mixture
Borgs.
of vodka,
Listen.
water, flavored electrolytes, and caffeine.
You see that, people? All the shit that they sell the masses. Vodka, caffeine. You're talking about electrolytes. All bullshit for the dumb masses, people. Back.
Or Borgs are a punch-like mixture of vodka, water, flavored electrolytes, and caffeine. Enough to fill a gallon jug, all reserved for one person.
Listen.
And topped off with a punny label.
Wow.
I'm Borgingham Palace. Queen Elizabeth.
Look, people. Listen to the names that they call it, people. And you understand that this shit never come from the little kids right here that doing it. I already told you, people, all those challenges made by the world government to dumb down the masses with the damn TikTok. Do you understand that it's a by design trick?
Claiming the electrolytes and water help curb hangovers. But experts warn Borging.
You see the star on it right there, people? So I'm asking you a question. So you're telling the masses right here that this right here is good for what? Hangover? And you have alcohol in it? Okay, let's
help
watch.
Curb hangovers. But experts
There go the star, people. It's involved. There you go. You see them?
Borging is still binge drinking.
However you slice it, drinking 8 to 16 shots of alcohol in a short period of time, they're still drinking 8 to 16 shots of alcohol, whether it's straight from the bottle or whether it's in your own gallon jug with a funny name on it.
Just last week, 28 ambulances were called at UMass Amherst for
see that, people? Just like all the challenges that they give you, the Great Challenge and Cinnamon Challenge, all of them come from the same TikTok. And you see TikTok commercials all over the place. Regular TV, people, regular TV. The same people that supposedly complain about the TikTok doing this shit to the youths, they advertise TikTok. They're showing you people on doing commercials on TV, saying, hey, I couldn't even read, and look, it's TikTok. I went on TikTok and now I can read. Oh, my kids couldn't do this, and bam, I put them on TikTok, and look now, they're great. America is the one who's selling you that TikTok. Like I don't tell you, they got to sell you that shit because it's more interested to the Americans more than anywhere in the world. They tell you it belongs to China. The Chinese is not that interested in the TikTok like Americans. You got to understand this is a government trick right here to dumb down the youth.
Student-run Blarney Blowout.
I'd say that was definitely the drink of choice for the event.
Eamon Elfakir, a senior at UMass Amherst, vlogged this year's event.
I just got there and I just see all these gallons with like these weird puns. Everybody was shoulder to shoulder. It's like literally the size of a football.
And you don't understand, that's what I call zombie. That's part of the zombie apocalypse with everybody dumbed down and doing the same dumb shit. I already told you about it. That's what the real concept of zombie is. Everybody brain is soup. They know what they're doing? I don't think so. It's just dumb shit all the way through.
I saw a lot of kids who were very drunk.
The university in town blaming the controversial drink for the rampant hospitalizations. School officials saying it was the first time the university had observed notable use of Borgs, and they'll consider steps to improve alcohol education and intervention and communicate with students and
families. That people, alcohol education, that never saved nobody. I already told you. They make you addicted to this chemical that they make, they call alcohol. Give you as a feel-good type of thing. Yes, happiness in a bottle, and then bam. Now you have a problem. They need to educate you. You need to wake your ass up. This is part of the government destruction of the masses. Move.
The FDA has released new standards officials say could help women detect breast cancer earlier.
Why? Tell me that, people. Why they need to detect breast cancer earlier? Is because there was a problem with them discovering it late? No. It's because the hair of the cancer is getting lower in the people, the age. That's what you need to understand. I've been preaching this shit so you can get it. That they're always gonna lie to you and tell you people die. You know, back in the days they die earlier. But now they have to have cancer earlier. Why is the cancer showing up earlier in the masses? Because the chemical is now more potent. They find more ways to put more chemical in your body. That's the reason why cancer showing up earlier. Remember, I did a podcast about the prostate cancer, how it's showing up in man earlier now. Now you have to go get a colonoscopy more earlier in your 30s now. This is same thing right here with this breast cancer. They have to drop the rate, the age rate, because it's attacking the people more earlier now than it used to. The chemical is getting more in your body earlier.
Mammogram providers will now be required to inform women if they have dense breast tissue. The American Cancer Society estimates nearly 300,000
You see this right here, people? Of course, because they can fool the masses with all those numbers. Just like they do with the damn COVID, but you never understand. You see that ribbon that they use? Ribbon is 33 in numerology. This Freemasonry. And all those cancer research center that you're putting money in, they're never gonna research shit. They're the one who create that shit with chemical to take over your cells. You think they're gonna help you? Come on, watch this.
Diagnosed with invasive breast cancer this year. It also predicts more than 43,000 of them will die from the disease.
Of course they know.
Joining us now is Dr. Jessica Shepard. She is a Chief Medical Officer for Very Well Health in Dallas. Dr. Shepard, thanks for joining us. Can you, just to start, explain these new requirements?
Requirements.
Now, you expressed there in the statistics that you were talking about invasive breast cancer. And we do know that breast cancer is the most common cancer and leading cause of cancer-related deaths among women.
Why, people? Why? What's up with the breast cancer? Why is the cancer end up in your breast, people? Because of that soft tissue and those fat cells that make up your breasts. And like I say, those things target your cells. Yes, and like I say, people, because of the woman got the fat in the fat cells in the breast area, the tissues, they can have cancer in it. Some chemicals that they take in their body get to that area, damage the cell, take it over. That's cancer right there.
It really is essential for us to have early diagnosis. And when we do have early diagnosis, we can really reduce that breast cancer-related burden and mortalities. Now, when we're talking about the FDA and releasing these new guidelines, it really is looking at the density of breasts and what that really means, because breasts do have dense tissue or fatty tissue. And we do know with dense breasts, you are more likely to see, the decreased ability through imaging.
Look what they're doing to you right here, but they're looking in your breast, people, by squashing it together all the way around, squashing it. And then they have those radiation with those supposedly laser and everything else that they're putting on your breast to see in it. What you think, people? You don't think you can develop cancer from all that? Newsflash, you can. Radiation can trigger off those cancer cells. So if the cancer wasn't supposed to be there, but the seed is planted already with whatever you take in your body, that trigger it off with those radiation and what they're doing, squashing your breast. Of course, it can trigger it off 100%.
To detect some breast cancers. But also, when we looked at a study, and it was looking over 9 observational studies, the conclusion was looking at women who do have more dense breasts actually do have an increased risk of having cancer that is not necessarily detected.
Yeah, I mean, you basically, I think, answered this next question. Roughly half of women 40 or older have dense breasts. So how much more at risk of breast cancer are they?
They actually are more at risk. And when we were looking at the study, significantly resulted in a 2.1-fold, which is looking at an increase of breast cancer risk compared to those who have scattered dense breast tissue. So again, we're looking at extremely dense breast tissue versus scattering of the dense breast tissue. But really, we're not really educating women on what the differences are with dense breasts and how common they are. And you just said that nearly half of all women who are 40 and older and get mammograms are found to have dense breasts.
Dr. Shepard, the only way for a woman to really know if she has dense breasts is by having a mammogram. Does an initial finding of breast density automatically mean more tests for women?
And I'm glad you mentioned it that way, because again, this is really a guideline to not scare women who do have dense breasts, but really having the understanding in the mammogram findings and knowing that they may have more testing that is needed in order to really stratify what the breast density means, but also
it's all bullshit, people. If your breast is more dense, yes, you're more reliable to have that. Have the breast cancer because your breast is dense. It's bullshit. Like I tell you, people, cancer and them things is more now. It's on the table. They're putting more chemical in you. The juices are those are chemical that are gonna trigger off a lot of things in the masses. 100%. You're gonna see the complications. That's the reason why these organs now is so important, like a heart. I already told you. Heart is now in problem. Cardiac arrest is the name now. You're going to hear that more and more. You're going to find out more people dying around you. You're not going to understand. But I already told you from day one, it is the juice taking effect and the people going to fall like fly. Bam.
And when it comes to printing human body parts, the future is already here. Just in the last few months, we've seen some pretty incredible results. One woman received a 3D printed ear implant made from her own cells as part of a clinical trial. Doctors in France were able to grow a new nose for a kid.
See this right here, people? All of this shit right here is for the new world. Do you understand? Now they can 3D print these supposed be organs. But these are not organs. These are ears and nose and them shits. They show you, and they're not made out of plastic. You hear me? They're made out of human tissues. Let's watch.
It's your patient using 3D printed cartilage. And get this, researchers at MIT can now print 3D replicas of the human heart.
Bam. You see that, people? 3D replica of the human heart. And remember, people, this not gonna made from plastic or nothing. It's gonna made from tissues. Human being tissue, supposedly. What kind of shit is this? Let's listen some more.
The team has developed a robotic system to control soft 3D printed replicas of a patient's heart that can be actuated to mimic the patient's blood pumping ability. The procedure involves first converting medical images of a patient's heart into a three-dimensional computer model, which the researchers can then 3D print using a soft polymer-based ink. The result is a soft, flexible shell in the exact shape of the patient's own heart.
Okay.
Wild, right? Anytime I see something like that, I call NBC News medical fellow Dr. Akshay Sayal. He joins us now. Doctor, why does this matter? What implications does this have on the future of organ transplants?
Yeah, good evening, Gotti. The simple way to put it is we do not have enough organs out there for all the people who need organ transplants.
There you go, people. I already told you about these organ transplants. It's devil work, 100%, people. Like I say, they give you all of these things to kill your organs. And now organ is the most, wanted thing right now. Why did you kill your organs? Why? You do all these shit that they give you and it's gonna destroy your organs. All of them shits, people. You're drinking too much alcohol, that gonna devour your kidney. Your kidney is a filter. That's why you see if people need so much kidney transplant. You don't get it. And now, with everybody juiced up, they're gonna need a heart 100%.
Yeah, there's about 100,000 people on the organ transplant list, and about 17 people die every day waiting for an organ transplant. So that's why you're seeing a lot of excitement about this. We really need a way to solve that shortage of organ transplants, for patients who have kidney disease and heart disease and liver disease. You and I spoke a few weeks ago about a patient who needed a heart transplant who almost didn't get one. So that's really why you're seeing the excitement about this, growing an organ in a lab as opposed to waiting for...
Growing an organ in a lab. There you go, people. I already told you they're gonna get there. This is the new world, people. And the new world is the end of times. That's what you need to understand. When they come in with the new world, the old world gonna be gone. Yes, with the people in it. Remember that.
Organ to become available.
And how does this actually work? Explain the process from design and printing. We saw a little bit of printing there to physically making a 3D organ part for the human body.
Yeah, it's pretty complicated, but I'll try to break it down here. And basically, what you do is you take a piece of tissue sample, or a little piece of sample of an organ that you want. Say you're in need of a kidney transplant. You can take a piece of that, about the size of a postcard, and you mix that with a bunch of fancy chemicals, and then you put that into literally a
bunch of fancy chemicals. Once a year, that trouble there.
Printer. So if you think about a colored printer that uses ink to combine a bunch of colors together to get the final product, you're taking a bunch of cells and you're kind of mixing them together and combining them together, and then the 3D printer kind of layers them on top of each other until you literally get a 3D printed organ. But Gotti, I think the most important point here to drive home, because this is coming from a patient's sample, you don't have to take those immunosuppressive medications, those medications that prevent organ transplant rejection, that can actually weaken your immune system and make you more likely to get sick from things like COVID.
There you go. You have to mention COVID. I already told you, people, Any of them things that you take is damaging your immune system. All medication basically doing that. Don't let them fool you. But so what gonna be the problem after you create this heart? Remember, you don't know yet. You never mentioned what kind of, difficulty they might find with these supposedly printed heart or printed organs. Did you do the study on that? Or are you gonna wait until you start giving the people, then you're gonna tell them you might just fall over and die, that heart can just stop working? Yeah, they got complications like that, people. They probably have it coming soon with these supposedly organs that they're 3D printing.
I was expecting like an hour-long answer, and I was ready for it. I was getting ready to sit down and listen to all of it. I don't know how you just summed that up in like 2 minutes.
Because the world is a stage. Nothing on TV is real. All fake shit on script.
I want to know, though, how is this even regulated? This seems like a very brave new world. And how far off are we from seeing this become a huge thing that doctors and hospitals are using on a daily basis?
Yeah, so the experts really at Wake Forest who are leading the charge of this, they think about 10 years out is where we are right now. And if you guess, the organ we're most in need of a transplant for right now, it's actually kidney disease. I think it's about 90% of patients who are in need of an organ transplant are waiting for a new kidney.
You see that? The kidney disease start from what, people? The alcohol, all those shit that they're giving you, poisoning the damn kidney. And of course, this is what it is right there. They have to show you this because it's a order chaos right here. They have to show you this so you understand why they bring that shit in. Do you get it? Why they have to bring in 3D to print organs now? Because 17 people die all the time waiting for these organs. And all these people have a bad kidney and need transplant. All of them shits go come in. And then they have to, make you accept these things that they bring. It's cool because all these people dying and all these people need organ transplant. Go ahead and start 3D print art and them things. And then later on, you're going to get this instruction like, bam.
This week marks 3 years since the World Health Organization officially declared COVID-19 a pandemic. Since then, more than 1 million Americans have lost their lives to the virus. And
you hear that, people? This is eye-opening right here because a lot of people never understand this. Nobody died from no COVID-19. I don't care what they tell you. It's all a government trick. And we break it all the way down. You can find the videos. Go look for them. BitChute, all of them. I put out videos and break down all of these shits right here. There is nothing they can tell the mag. So with all of this right here, tell you that COVID kill all these millions of people. No. It's the government kill you. Kill all the people in the name of COVID. That's the reason why they put it in place. You never understand. And now, even when the people dropping from the juice, they're still gonna blame it on the same COVID right here. It's fake shit for the masses. Doctors collecting kickbacks just to name a victim, a COVID victim. If they have somebody die from the COVID to that doctor, and the doctor say, yes, it's COVID, kill him, the doctor have a portion of money coming his way. And we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars just to name one COVID death. That's the reason why you have this number right here. They could pump something in you, kill your ass right away and tell you it's COVID. Immediately, they say COVID kill one more and count it. What you can't understand with no autopsy. So it's time for you to wake up. This is how the government kill you in the name of a damn pandemic.
Averaging about 2,000 deaths every week. But protective measures have largely disappeared. Even some hospitals here in New York are no longer requiring masks.
Yeah, because they know it was bullshit. They know it was bullshit. That cloth shit that you put on your face can't stop you from catching nothing. If virus floating in the air, you believe that that piece of cloth gonna stop it from coming? You smell people breath to it, people. What you can't understand? If you can smell somebody breath talking in that mask, what make you think you can stop a virus? Dumb on.
And that's a serious concern for people at high risk for serious illness and death
all
from
bullshit.
COVID. ABC's Brad Milkey, host of the Start Here podcast, joins me live now for more on that. Brad, you spoke with a disability advocate, Stephanie Tate, about these easing restrictions. So what is the biggest concern here for people at high risk?
It was a really interesting conversation because you look at somebody like Stephanie, she's got a pre-existing heart condition, kidney condition. She also takes a medication that suppresses her immune system.
You hear that, people? I always tell you about it. She taking a medication that also suppress our immune system, which most medication do, people. You're not hearing me, man. They telling themselves, like I tell you, the medication, they kill your immune system. The pox love it. All of them shits they have on the table gonna kill your immune system. Open up the doors for more bugs, more sickness. Your body can't fight it off. It's a trick, and like I say, now that they juice you up, the immune system is dead completely.
Not only is easier for her to get a virus than the average person, it also would hit her harder if she got the thing. And yet she goes around at this point into her local grocery store. Fewer people are wearing masks, right? Even at her local pharmacy, no one seems to be wearing.
So why the fuck she don't wear the mask and just forget about it? You're the one with the problem. So you have a fucking problem. I need to wear my mask? I need to wear a mask because you have a problem? That's dumb. Like I don't tell you, don't put nothing over your nose to suit nobody, to please nobody. You understand? You're gonna put a cloth around your nose, stop you from breathing. Yes, mess with your blood oxygen level and everything. For somebody else? No, that person's supposed to find a way to protect themselves. Don't worry about me. And like I said, that's the reason why they get everybody involved in this fakery right here. Because if you have the virus supposedly and you got your mask on, you still have a problem. The people who don't have on the mask gonna catch it. It's dumb. 100% dumb. It's everybody to them damn self. So that means if you protect yourself, you shouldn't worry about the next man that's not protecting himself. You got it? But it's all bullshit for the dumb masses. That's why it is like what it is right now.
Mask. No one seems to be protecting each other because a lot of people in this country, we've sort of decided, like it's time to move on, as if COVID is not rapidly circulating amongst the population, when it still very much is. And so to somebody like Stephanie, even though we're living, the last year has been the fewest deaths of this pandemic, she actually feels less safe than ever before because she doesn't feel like there's anyone beside.
All bullshit to program the dumb masses, to get them feel like, yes, you're not safe. You need to still hide from this fake COVID-19.
Besides her, and a lot of disability advocates feel this way, they're sort of the only ones acting as if COVID is around them.
Now, Kate says that she feels like we're living in 2019 rather than 2023. What does she mean by that?
Well, she says, by what metric would you think we're living in a post-COVID world? Like everyone right now seems to be like, we're post-COVID. Back in the pandemic.
All that shit that they're talking about right now is based on the one person they're talking about. What a dumb shit.
Days, past tense. She's like, what metric makes you think that we're out of this at all? Is it that fewer people are dying? Because, we've got, almost 2,000 people dying just last week. That would be several 737s falling out of the sky every week.
And of course, they have to mention 737s. All damn coding.
I mean, that's what that would mean. If that was happening, if a 737 was crashing every day in this country, we would say we still have a severe flying problem. And yet we've all kind of accepted that, this is like the baseline amount of death in this country. And so, she says if you look at cases, they're almost meaningless numbers because not as many people report their test, not as many people test at all. And so by any of these measures.
Remember what caused the pandemic, the so-called testing, as you could see him staring down at his script. All scripted shit on TV. Like I said, the numbers that they give you is 100% fake because the COVID is a hoax. The cold and flu, they used to let you take a shot that not gonna destroy you. Move.
If you've got sinus issues, you've probably seen a neti pot before.
Look at this right here, people, a nutty pot. And I told you, neti pot, and I told you, if you hear that name and you still use it, you're dumb. And I told you, with all the allergy that facing the masses right now, and plus they give you that COVID in the back of your mind, yes, everybody want to do something about what's going on. So they give you this right here to so-called clear your breathing, clear your airwaves so you can breathe freer. And now they're going to tell you got bacteria in it. This is part of the COVID, you hear me? Because they bring this shit right when the COVID hit. The same shit right here to so-called clear your airwaves, and then bam, destruction follow. Let's listen.
Used to clean your nose out, but if done the wrong way, you can get sick.
because that is the pathway for Naegleria to work its way into the cerebral spinal fluid in the brain.
Naegleria fowleri, aka the brain-eating amoeba. Health officials believe someone in Charlotte County contracted it through the same thing we're showing you now.
And of course, they know exactly what they contract that through. Some brain-eating so-called disease or bug. Pay attention.
Though the Department of Health can't tell us much about the patient, we know the stats.
Yeah, right now it's 97% deadly.
What ends up happening?
97% deadly. Remember, it's something that you basically put some water in and inhale it. Inhale it to your system to wash it out. Yes, that's what causes all that germ supposedly in your system. Listen.
Is the infection overwhelms the body, and it's unfortunately it's highly dangerous and fatal.
The CDC says cases are extremely rare, with less than 5 cases on average a year in the U.S. Most don't even come from the situation we're seeing now.
Right there with the Florida Health.
The way that Naegleria fowleri enters the body and causes disease is actually through the nose. And so when we see cases, as you mentioned, they're often associated with lakes or rivers or ponds. We think that the most likely mode of transmission for those cases is actually that the water enters the nose forcefully when they're jumping, swimming, diving.
Symptoms are much like meningitis. Fever, headache, nausea, hallucinations. But we don't want to scare you. There are ways to protect yourself.
Use distilled water when performing nasal rinsing. And so
nasal rinsing. But what's the problem, people? Why you need your nasal rinse? Why? Because of the supposed allergy. Nobody gonna touch the subject. All right, let's go to a video where they might touch on it and see if we can find something in it with the supposed allergy, people, which I told you comes from pollens, the trees that they give you and tell you it's good for the world. It's good for naturality, these trees. It don't grow fruits and vegetables. It grow pollen. That's for your allergy. And nobody can tell me shit. That's by design. You wouldn't have no damn allergy if it wasn't for those trees producing those pollen. So you can't tell me it's not by design when they plant those trees. In any way you see them, they're the one who plant those oaks, those pine, they're the one who plant them for one reason, for your allergy. So you can keep buying Benadryl and all of these allergy medicine. It's a part of trick for the masses in America. Bam.
The official start of spring is just days away, which means it's also going to be allergy season. New research from the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America.
There you go, people. Now we can see some research. Let's see if they go point the finger and what we already know is the problem. Just listen, they point out all of these places. You see that? Oklahoma. Okay, let's watch it.
Wichita, Kansas, Dallas, Texas, and Scranton, Pennsylvania are the 3 most challenging places to live.
You know why? These places got a lot of vegetation, trees. That's what it is. These places have a lot of trees. Texas, all them places, they have a lot of trees, people. That's what causes allergy. They're the one who plant them. Those are not natural trees. You better understand that. Grow that yellow pollen and scatter it everywhere. That's what you're breathing and giving you allergy.
Suffer from pollen allergies. Sanaz Tafkari joins us with more. She's the Chief of Business Development and Vice President of Research at the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America.
So this one knows something then. Okay, let's listen with the eyes black out. Right there. Let's listen what this one got to say.
It's so fascinating to me. You know, this time of year, we always start thinking about allergies as we get congested, right? I mean, so it's so great to have you with us. What makes Kansas, Texas, and Pennsylvania so challenging?
Wow.
Hey, Catherine, it's great to be here. And I can tell you, you know, if you think your allergies are getting worse, chances are they are.
Yes, they are. You're going to tell the people the reason why the allergy getting worse? Listen.
For our Allergy Capitals report, we look at 3 criteria. We look at pollen. We look at the use of medicine utilization.
The use of medicine, okay.
And then we look at the access to specialists. So the reason...
Access to specialists. There you go, people. Did they point a finger on the problem yet? Okay, they say pollen. But they're not going to discuss that. Let's listen.
Wichita comes in at number 1 is because it's worse than average for all 3 of those.
What? Okay, go back. Because what?
Specialists. So the reason that Wichita comes in at number 1 is because it's worse than average for all 3 of those.
Worse than average fall? I don't get it. What the hell does that mean? I told you they're not going to point the finger on the real culprit. Listen.
Wow, those are really stunning factors. Yeah. So what's the impact of warmer winters?
Oh, warmer winters. Oh my, what a dumb shit, people. What a dumb shit. The whole place is cold, people. The place is record cold, people. What you can't understand. When you see a warm winter, you see it this year? This is when they give you the dark winter in America. Do you understand that? The people already hear the mag, they know I'm right on the money. Why? Because they also been through that dark winter like I told them it was coming. Like I told them that it was going to be the worst winter that they ever seen, and it happened. So they know what I'm talking about here. Because I already tell them it was going to happen. So don't tell me about no warmer winter. None of America get no warmer winter here. Everybody see some kind of record snow, record blizzard, record something. You understand when it comes to this so-called cold time. So don't tell me nothing about no warmer winter. It's bull crap. And what that got to do with allergies? Bullshit. Move.
Well, so the climate change has a really big impact on all of the pollinating seasons, right? So there you go, people. The rising temperatures has an impact on the longer pollinating seasons. The excess carbon dioxide has an impact on the pollination. So all of this really plays a role into more pollen in the air.
This is a joke, people. This is a joke. Remember, tell me when the pollen start hit. Then when the pollen start hit and I show you that they're full of shit, it's spring, people, spring. You know why they call it spring? Yes, the cold kind of ease a little bit. Then the warmness starting to come in. You see more sunshine. And then all of a sudden them shit start spring up. That's what spring is. So these pollens start coming out in spring. Sun and a little rain and sun and rain. That's what causes trees to flourish. With these right here that don't have nothing to supposedly feed you or nothing, all it got is pollen. So when those time come, that's when the pollen increase. It's everywhere. You're seeing on the car. It fall like rain, people. It fall like rain and cover your car. That means the amount where you're inhaling is unbelievable. That you inhale that shit in your system. But that's what causes allergy. That's what causes you to go to the pharmacy to get something to remedy your allergy. They already know 100% what it is. It's all these pollen. Even the grass. The grass got pollen. They got grass pollen. They got the tree pollen. They're all pollens. Remember, the grass that grow right there, and it's not like it's good grass or nothing. It just give you pollen. You got these little things that blossom and they scramble out to be some little dust thing they call pollen. Get in your nose, get in your system, and you're going to have allergy. That's what it is. But they're never going to tell you. The government is the one who give you allergy. They set up those medication for the remedy because they want you to be on medication. That's what make you sick, that make you die. Too much chemical in your body. And that's exactly what they want. It's nothing new here. It's exactly what they plan.
So really all of the impact that you're feeling from climate change really does impact on allergies as well.
It's bullshit, people.
What preventative steps can people take?
Let's see.
I like to put it into 3 areas. So there's tips that you can take to manage your contact with pollen, right? There's also tips that you can take on the medicine factor.
Here we go.
And then also looking at working with doctors.
Working with doctors. There you go, people. Why they don't tell you, man? Wow.
So in the pollen sense, you can, wipe off your shoes when you come into the home. You can, wipe off your pets if they're coming back into the house.
Wow, people. You can wipe off your shoes and your pets when they're coming back in the house if you don't want the pollen to affect your allergy. You believe that, people? Remember, you're coming from outside in that shoe. You inhale those tree pollen. You walk under it. Everywhere you walk, every 10 feet, they have another one. They're the one who plant them in a row, people. They put them there for the allergies. No other reason. These trees can't save you from shit. Remember that. These trees can't save you from nothing. It can't stop no storm. It can't stop shit. All it do is giving you allergy. That's the reason why they plant them. And ask yourself where the fuck they get them from, people. Where they get these pines and oaks and all of these trees to plant with no fruits on it. Where they get them from. Who tell them to plant these trees? You're not going to answer these questions, man. These neighborhoods that you see with houses, where those trees come from there. Those trees that you walk past one, 10 feet you see another one. Over there, they're the one who put them in there to make those neighborhoods. So yes, they're the one who plant the allergy. Point blank, period. So you can be hooked on medication and keep seeing the supposed doctors. Listen.
Pollen on them. You can change your clothes when you're going into bed, right? To kind of remove that pollen.
Well, nobody sleep in their clothes their way outside, man. What's wrong with you? So yeah, they need to change their clothes when they go into bed. The ones they wear outside, okay, so somebody take a walk to their neighborhood and they walk around and then they come home and go to sleep in the same clothes. I don't think so, man. You're talking dumb shit out your mouth. That can't stop no pollen from getting in your system because you've been outside. That's when it get in your system, people. It's not when it get on your clothes and you carry the clothes in the home. Now it gonna get in your system. No. You out there breathing that shit, vacuuming it up. That's what you do with your damn nose. Wow.
And then in the medicine sense, there's a lot of options in the over-the-counter space, right? So we've all been in the local allergy section of our local pharmacies.
Look at all of these supposed pills that they got, people. The amount of medication that they got. Even the ones for the eyes. Remember, those dusty things actually get in your eyes also. They get in your eyes. You get runny, itchy eyes. They have the medicine right there. You don't get it, people. All by design. All the other chaos by the government people who control us. That's what they do. The same way they control the sickness that they give you and everything. They're the one who run your life. 100% bam.
Tourism season in Florida.
Take a look, people. All purple and Freemason bricks. You see them? Most of them that I show you, the news report that got on the purple. Listen this right here.
Mexico and the Caribbean is facing a huge threat, a gigantic blob of smelly seaweed floating in the Atlantic, and it's washing up on beaches in the region. Leila Santiago shows us how the Florida shores are already being impacted.
Listen this right here, people. Look at this right here. This is seaweed, they say supposedly. It's traveling in a whole bunch, and it's going to stop right here in Florida. Let's listen.
Thick in the summertime, builds up and smells terrible.
Where it built up. It built up in the summertime. Where does it build up, people? You don't get it. I'm going to explain it to you in a minute. Make it go on.
Captured these images about a week ago. Massive amounts of seaweed washing up at Smathers Beach, a beach he knows well because he walks it several times a week.
I was shocked when I saw it that day where it wasn't even spring yet. It's still winter, which is very unusual.
And this is about 5,000 miles long.
Professor Schauman, who is one of the leading experts on what many have referred to as a massive blob of seaweed heading to Florida's coast. Fair to call it.
Where does that massive amount of seaweed come from at the same time? Where, people? Where does it come from? It just appear? Come on, man. These are government operations. Let's get deeper in it.
A blob?
Nope.
No, we can't call it a blob.
Always a joke.
I would never call that
Orange
a blob.
clothing.
Okay, why?
Because he's not.
Satellite images, he says.
Satellite image is fakery. That's what you need to understand. Anything they show you with satellite is a hoax. Just remember, I tell you, there is no real satellite, and they can't show you a real satellite. So that means satellite is a hoax.
It's not one massive body of seaweed, rather a bunch of patchy clumps traveling from West Africa. It's called...
It come from West Africa. Same way they tell you about this supposed dust that blow all the way from Africa to America. Make pit stop in Canada. Make pit stop in England. Show up in America all over the world. You believe it? It's trash. 100%
Atlantic
trash.
sargassum belt and is considered a natural phenomenon. Right now, it's twice the width of the U.S., carrying 6 million tons of seaweed.
Of course, they know, people. They wait. They know it's 6 million ton coding. What a dumb shit for the masses.
Right now, it's twice the width of the U.S., carrying...
How do you know it's twice the width of the U.S.? Wow, people.
6 million tons of seaweed and headed to the East Coast.
In June of this year, it may turn into 20 million tons.
So let me get this straight. This, what we're seeing the last month, is 6 million tons, and it's going to get bigger.
Yes, there's no way to stop that. This is nature, just like no one can stop a hurricane.
But what you have to understand, people, you see this right here? It comes from the dead water, the Dead Sea. You understand? The government, they do a lot of things. The world government. They make some places that don't have any water have water. Like Florida, right there. Nobody tell me nothing here. You understand? All of these water is fake. 100%. And there's an effect. If you take the water from the sea, if you move the water, let it into a Pacific area like right here. This is the result. I already told you from day one. The unhealthy body of water give you the seaweed right there. It give you the discoloration of the water. It make the water not blue. It make the water not clear. The water is dead because it not belong there. They usher it from somewhere else, the big ocean, and they usher it right there. Caribbean Sea give you this water in Florida because they let it in. In the Gulf is the same damn thing. All that Gulf water is fake. That's why you get this. Galveston Beach is fake. There are fake beaches all over the world. That's why you get this. The dead water produce you this. And remember they tell you about it stink. That alone tell you it's dead water. It's just like you have a fish tank. Listen to me. You have a fish tank with water. You have fish in it and everything, and you have a pump to keep oxygen, keep pumping in that water. So the water is alive. Oxygen going to the water, keep it alive. Now if you turn that pump off, or even you can separate the water, but not enough, airflow to the water. The oxygen not flowing all the way to. This is what you get right there. So yes, you turn off the pump in the fish tank, it got no more oxygen. So what happens is the water gonna turn green, the water gonna stink. Grow mass, grow weed. That's exactly why you're getting this right here. This not gonna be no Caribbean unless they push it there. This is coming from the dead body of water, the fake water that they give you, the Gulf and the Florida beach right there. You got it? That's what they do. That's what caused all of this shit right here. Don't let them fool you. Yes, another Mag Bam Sunday, man. Appreciate everybody for listening. Yeah, we always on. Bam.